Hi, my name is Ryan Ritterby, and today I will be talking to you about storyboarding for short films and why I think it's a waste of time. Okay, so a storyboard. What is a storyboard? Something like this. So it's a drawn out visualization of what your film is going to look like, shot to shot or sequence to sequence. It doesn't have to exactly be that. Some people do it for all the shots in the entire film, and you end up having storyboard panels of hundreds of panels. And some people just do it kind of for sequences. So storyboarding is used so that you, as whoever is drawing it, maybe you're the director, maybe you're the director of photography, you can kind of get people on board with what you're thinking in your head. And a lot of people really love it. A lot of people really enjoy drawing and they really want to show what the world looks like in their head. My problem with storyboarding is that it locks you into a certain way to visualize the world. Some people storyboard before they even location scout, where you go to a potential place where you're going to film and you take some pictures, you walk around and you kind of see if you can visualize yourself shooting there. Some people even storyboard before that, and that's a recipe for disaster because you get to set and maybe it's a little bit different than what you saw in your storyboard, and then you have to make all these calls and you're like, oh, this really sucks because I drew this whole thing out and I thought that this was going to be the way that the film is, and then you end up having to change and it sucks because you're so locked in. Another thing is sometimes they storyboard before they even have the director of photography on board. Sometimes directors do that. And at that point, why do you have a director of photography? If you're going to shot by shot list out what the film's going to look like, you're just doing the work of someone else and you're micromanaging. That's just not good. You should be able to let your crew and your teams breathe and be able to do their work without you doing the work for them. If you're a director of photography and you storyboard for yourself, I find that more acceptable, and I also find it more acceptable if you've location scouted, if you've been to rehearsals and you've seen how the character is going to act, and then you want to storyboard and just draw it out so it looks like something, and you kind of want to just see what something looks like before you go to set. Fair enough. But if you're spending all this time doing that, then it's just like, it's just a recipe for you're either going to be disappointed or you're not going to be able to adapt. I'm a much bigger fan of shot listing, which you were going to do anyway. It's a pretty huge part of camera pre-production. And a shot list is like this. It is a whole spreadsheet of basically listing out shot by shot in the entire film what is going to happen. And for example, this is one that I did for my musical film that I did with my best friend in the spring. And a shot list is great because it describes everything about the shot that's needed, and then you can code it set and kind of just figure it out, which is cool. Like with the storyboard, you have the shot list and then you have what it looks like, and that's fair. That's a good visualization if you want. But I like being able to have the freedom to know that it needs to be a wide shot that establishes something, but maybe there's another angle that we want to try, or maybe we want to combine a couple shots where it's one of those almost those pan down shots that you see where it's like one of those following shots that goes from an establishing shot into like following a character. So I think that's fair. It talks about what type of shot it is. So there's all these different shots and movements. Like here, we have long shots, medium shots, all these different lengths of like how close we want to be. Right now that's a wide shot. That's like a medium close up. So you have different types of shot lengths. So, and then you have different angles too. So you want to shoot from high, like there, or you want to shoot head on or shoot lower if I had another camera there. So that's useful. A description tells kind of what's in there, what's going on during the shot. You say sync if you want to have audio, and then you kind of say what you want, whether you want the camera to run on Steadicam, which is like a whole rig that you put on the camera operator and it allows them to move around and do things very smoothly, or if you want it to be on gimbal, which is another little thing that allows you to move things smoothly, or if you want it to be on a tripod and stationary. So put that there, and then you say what type of lens that you want. That's great too. And then we estimated how long these shots were going to take. Oftentimes they were a little bit over. That's just kind of how filmmaking is. But it's nice to have an estimate when you're doing logistical things, just so you can time out when lunches are going to be and stuff like that. Now, if you're really like, I don't like want to give up storyboarding or whatever, I think you could do mood boards. I think they communicate effectively the same thing. If there's films that are like similar and you have shots, like in our film, we had a flip sequence that we tried to kind of emulate the Damien Chazelle flip in La La Land. So I think you can kind of just mood board it, or find scenes from other movies that you've kind of been inspired by, or maybe pictures, like for example, like a little collage like this. Like maybe I want to do a horror film and I want the same kind of energy in that top left picture with the girl outside of the RV, but maybe I want that about a house. It still kind of communicates the same kind of energy that I want, and I think that's better than drawing out this whole house and then being like, oh, well, the house that we got is different or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's my suggestion. Mood board and shot list, and then when you get the set, that allows you to adapt and kind of just create on the spot of things that are going to happen. And honestly, some of the best shots in our film were made from moments of us being like, okay, this is kind of what we want, but we don't exactly know how it's going to go. Like, we know that what we need, and then let's kind of cook a little bit and see what we're going to do. So those are my suggestions. Totally take it with a grain of salt. Everyone has their own process. That's the beautiful thing about filmmaking, is that what I say isn't the law, and you could you could storyboard, you know, for hundreds of hours and potentially make a better film than me. So everyone has their own process. This is just kind of my take on filmmaking, and I hope that it helped in some way. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.